Yeah, they put their foot on our necks, but we let them, so what you expect? When the last time you picked up a book? When the last time you wrote your own check? Yeah, we all up on IG and Netflix, and the devil, he got you on chill. He's scrolling and trolling your life, you can't see he destroying, cause he got you still. It's your vision that he wanna steal, and your mission that he wanna kill. No condemning, I'm keeping it real. It's conviction I want you to feel. And I'm praying today that we wake up, and the mess that we made we can make up. It's because of a skin that they hate us, don't know what it's gonna take to shake us. Listen. And I'm not pacing, I'm just patient. They thought that I was moving slow, they didn't know I was waiting. Yeah, it's my season, it's my reason. I talk with God every day, I'm not into people pleasing. And forever I'm for God, and I just want you to know without him, life is hard. So get your heart right, get your...
Hi, I'm Charcy Curtis. Some of you out of favor may know me as Sister Diva. This is the IM4GOD Movement podcast where we allow everyday people to tell their testimony. Today I have a special guest with me, David. He's from Florida. I'm going to allow him to introduce himself and tell y'all a little bit about what he got going on and where he's located today. Because from my understanding, you moved to Charlotte.
Yes.
So can you tell the people who you are and what you got going on about your production?
Awesome. I appreciate the time being
Thank
here.
you.
I am David DYaye. I did come up from Florida. As far as right now, push my production company. I am located working in Charlotte, North Carolina at the current moment.
Okay. How you liking it so far, Charlotte, the move and everything?
It's cool. I'm settling in. Still ain't finalized how I want to be, but I'm liking it.
Okay.
I'm liking it so far.
You see the difference from Florida and Charlotte, like similar or what?
We working it.
Okay.
I think it comes with a little more settling, and then probably getting around the people a little more, pushing the music.
Okay.
You know, getting able to see the sceneries and what they have to offer even more than what we had down there in some of the places I was from.
Okay, so for those people out there that might want to get in contact with you, can you give them your Instagram and or Facebook information?
Right now, Instagram is _DYaye. That's _DYaye, which is DA. That's my producer name. Facebook, David Allen. Email and everything. We can work on getting that to y'all.
Okay. All right. Thank you again for fitting me in your busy schedule. But we're going to get right into these questions. I know you're a preacher's kid, so, how was it like growing up as a child for you?
So really starting out, coming up in a home that was already in the move of God, worship. Mom was already an evangelist. Dad was already a deacon. All my family played instruments for the most part, sang. So it was really kind of smooth transition. I started out playing instruments at 2. And so that was drums. Then Mama saw me doing that with the pots and pans, and then so they bought me a drum set. And then from there it just took off. So, I started actually working as a musician in 3rd grade. So that's when I really started getting paid. And from there, everything just been rolling, been smooth. Smooth.
Okay, so what's in you?
It's in me. It's in me. We have fun doing it, you know. Yeah.
How important is relationships to you?
Relationships are important. Right now, I think friendships have been the biggest importance right now in expanding my life as a person. I've seen like the most consistency through friendships, and I think I have a high value for friends. Like, it's multi-friends now. Right. It's not just one way of being a friend. It's multi-ways of being a friend.
Right.
But I think that's what my values have really came and locked in. So anytime I have somebody that I can start considering a friend, then I take that as valuable. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. If the word I was a person or we was a person, which one would say best fit you? And why?
I'm really a we person. Okay. I'm big on team. I've been a team leader since I was young, so since elementary, since pre-K, had a little group with me in pre-K. Got to elementary, thought we had us a little gang, so started there, then built up from there. And so I always been a we person. I always took the hits for others. It ain't easy.
No, it's not.
It ain't always easy to be the person that can have to take the blame, but as a leader, you end up doing it.
Exactly.
And so for me, I'm a we. I love family. I love friends. I don't mind hanging out with people if it's us. I'm not really a loner, so the I is not me. I take a lot of hits for others. You know what I'm saying? I'm not perfect. Nobody is, but I can take up the stand, and say, hey, I got it if I can. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But
what keeps you grounded? Well, grounded, motivated.
Productivity.
Okay.
If I can be productive in anything that I have going on, and purpose, that keeps me going. So I've been in that place where I struggle with purpose. You know what I'm saying? And so with purpose helps me push my productivity.
Okay.
Right? So if I know why I'm doing it, how I'm here, what I can do, what's possible, what's capable, it'll keep going. Even though, as me and you spoke, when it comes to some dark days, they'll hit. They'll hit. I didn't look at it like that when you actually shared it with me, but when I actually thought about it, they'll hit. And what'll happen is I'll see my purpose starting to show.
Right.
So where it's hard, I'll start learning to say, all right, cool, I can laugh at it. I can joke with it. I can see it in my head, even though it may be hurting me. But that's how it got me to the next phase. You see what I'm saying? So I look at it like that. That's what keep me like really, really motivated. And then when you see where you can go,
right.
You know what I'm saying? We say stuff like the sky's the limit, but do we really understand that?
Right.
Like, come on, man, the world big. So,
it is.
Florida has its place, North Carolina has its place, Texas and everywhere else has its place. So the motivation is being able to see like, dang, I can really accomplish that. Sometimes it takes who you connected to, sometimes it's the work ethic that you have. But it's like, I can keep going. If I can see that can be done, and then I made it to 2 from 1, I can get to 5.
Right. Yeah,
I might got to get to 3 first, but I can get to 5.
Yeah, you see what 5 is.
3 might be heavy now.
Yeah.
So brace yourself for 3. If you're doing the 3, you'll get there. But, you can make it to 5. And so that keep me pushing.
Yeah. It's funny you said that because of course we know everybody go through something. Ain't nobody different. It's just how you said recreate the wheel. Yeah. But I thought I was the only person that really thought that way. Like, as long as I can just see it. Yeah. And then I was like, you keep stretching and keep your hand in his hand and to work itself out. Yeah. But like you said, you go through it and the pain be so serious and you feel like you're not gonna get there, but you be like, but I can see it though. If I can just get there, I can see it. But just believing and knowing, things, it'll turn around.
Honestly, if I before we get to now, honestly, if people really think about it, a lot of time we'll say like with pain and hurt, but the truth is, as I share with people, and when we spoke before, I say, man, sometimes you need the negative.
Right, exactly.
Everybody will run the negative away. My perspective of life is you need both. My car or battery or whatever will not move if you don't have both charges.
Exactly.
So the negative side can charge me to even be greater.
Right.
But I guess I've seen it in my life to where whether I've been homeless or whether I was low on money or I needed new jobs or I needed whatever. And I seen it the way it's like, yo, that's crazy. Right. So when it come to people asking about God, you gonna see it come out of me. Right. You might see street come out of me. Right. You might see the homeboy come out of me. You might see this lover man come out. You might see this giggly. But God is who it is. You know what I'm saying? And so when it come down to it, I've seen where he take them situations and flip it.
Oh, definitely.
And I'm like, dang, that's crazy. But he needed me to go through this
to get there.
Oh,
yeah.
So look, don't put yourself so hard into this to where you'll lose me.
Right.
And I'm like, dang, why you had to do it that way?
Exactly. You know what I mean? But you can't tell them how to do it. You can't
why you had to do it that way?
You can't tell them how to do it.
From there, I learned like, oh, that made sense. So I lost 2, but I gained 2. And then I gained a +2.
Right.
So it took me to 4 still.
Yeah.
I've been wondering how I'm going to get to 4. Yeah. But you had to lose 2. But I gave you 2 plus another. Right. So it's like, boom, cool. Stay motivated, bro. Keep rolling.
Yeah, not only that, you never know who's watching.
For real.
You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest part. God is about, showing his light through you so somebody see what you're going through and you stay be like, well, daggone, I went through the same thing. Yep. And if he can be like that after going through all that, then I know it's a God. You know what I'm saying? And then they hear you say, well, how you do it? Yeah. Like, I ain't do it. God did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the Holy Spirit push you through it. I'm sitting here struggling like, I don't know how we're going to get there, but I need that extra strength. And then, boom, it's a burst to come out from nowhere, which is the Holy Spirit that push you through it. But you just got to be a believer, trust, and know that, He's not going to leave you alone. And a test is a testimony.
Straight up.
You know what I'm saying? So if you ain't had that, then I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying? So you ain't really walking in his hand because he going to test you so many times.
A lot.
So many times. So it's like, are you done yet? No, I'm just getting started.
The crazy part be when he tests you and you like, man, I ain't think that was going to come. And it be from certain places that you wouldn't like think it would come from. Right. And so I think the biggest thing too with that is just like, the grace and the forgiveness that becomes in your heart, and it's not just to push everybody away. Sometimes we don't know why we went through yesterday to get to the day.
Right.
And that don't mean they're excluded from my life.
Right.
That just mean I had to learn certain things from it, and then how can I work with them? How can I deal with them? How can I go forward with them? You know what I'm saying? And if it's not meant, he'll slice it off.
Oh,
not
yeah.
us. I don't really have to slice it. He'll and he won't slice it. Let rephrase that.
I understand what you're saying.
He'll make it to where your position changes. You know what I'm saying? So with the shifting and the elevating, it just depends on if they're able to handle that capacity with you or not. If they're not, then he'll set it up. But
and let's talk about that shift. Like, so for me, I know the shift for me is more or less make you feel uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? And people want to like, so how you know that, you know, when it's time, like you feel very uncomfortable. Things that you used to do, it's just you have no desire for it. Gotcha. It's just not there. You know what I'm saying? How do you feel about it?
In my life of the shifting, I think it really hit differently while I was young. So to see that change can happen so fast, I don't want to say I got numb to it. I was about to say that, but I kind of got used to the processes. So when I went to not having and then seeing I got, and then went through not having and then seeing I got, it showed me that that's a process of life. You know what I'm saying? Even millionaires go through points where it seems like they don't have, and they got all the money. But they look like, man, I ain't got love.
Right, exactly.
I ain't got friendship.
Exactly.
I don't got people that hear me.
Exactly.
And here we are, we like, give me the money. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay.
Yeah, I realize the money come problem.
But in the shifting, I think that just egg us on, you know, keep us pushing. So in those hard places, it's like, man, I feel like, you know, I'm not winning as I think I should.
Right.
I'm not having the people that hear me or see me or really take into me as I think I should. And it's like, well, yeah, you can change, but then are you authentic? You know what I'm saying? Right. Well, in that shifting space, it becomes to a point to where it's like, it looks like I'm struggling. Right. It feels like I'm struggling. In your mind, you mentally are feeling drained, like you're struggling, but you're elevating. And if you don't have nobody that can speak that to you to know, like, this is elevation. Right. That doesn't mean kill everybody. That just means in this season, here you go.
You have to be by yourself.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's not even being selfish. Right. It's just being able to identify there's a shifting coming. Slow down. Pay attention. Don't get mad at everybody. Don't tee off. Pause and watch what happened after. So sometimes we mess up our shift because we can't see what's after it. Right. So we shut down in the moment. In the process of it, it's like, oh no, woo! You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Have I been there? Yes. Have I been there? Yes. I have been a product of that. And so now when those things come, I'm like, man, how you so calm in this storm?
Because you know God got you.
The storm got to end at some point.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? If I believe in God and I'm like, Lord, I need more money, he ain't finna just say, boom, more money. Right. But sometimes, y'all, he will. Sometimes he will.
Depending on the situation.
Depending on the situation. Depending on what he want for you.
Yeah, right.
But sometimes he'll be like, okay,
but it'll be just enough. He don't give over.
Yeah.
You be like, you could have put extra in there, but
the storm part is where we shut down.
Yeah, right.
And the storm part is where I start to find calmness. Like, okay, I can survive because he showed me I can survive. He built me to be able to survive. So now in this process, whether I want to express, cry, hurt, feel pain, and sometimes we get lazy in the storm. Oh, yeah. Instead, it should be like, no, I want to get out. So, you know what? Let me get up and do something different than what I used to do. And so from there, the shifting happened. And when that shifting happened, you actually value it more once you come around. You be like, man, I didn't know it was sunshine over here, but I stopped in the storm and just like, man, forget all of it, I'm done. When I could have made it through the process, and now my reward was actually greater than what I thought. You see what I'm saying? So that stuff really pushed me, man, heavy in my life.
It's basically like saying trust the process, and then he do that to remind you who's in control.
For real.
You know what I'm saying? Because that makes you call on him. Like, okay, I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to trust you. I don't know what you got going on, but listen, it don't seem good, it don't seem right, but I know you up to something, so I'm going to trust, I'm going to push and do what I need to do and be able to connect and be able to have that relationship there. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing like that relationship to have when we give you that peace of mind.
That's real.
That ain't nothing you can buy. Just like when you said with the millionaires, they wish they can buy peace of mind. A peace of mind don't come, you can't buy peace of mind. of mind.
No,
Peace of mind
can't
comes from
buy that.
him. So, we know him. I mean, God is a spirit. For me, he is a him.
Right.
But but at the same time, it's just like I tell people, you can't do what God can do on
That's
no
real.
given day. You know what I'm saying? So, but at the end of the day, you got to get there. But what is something you like the people to know about you that they don't know? Like for me, people think I'm mean, which I'm not. To know me is to love me. But what is that something that you like for people to know about you that they don't?
As far as new people, I don't know. I love what I do. I'm passionate about what I do.
Okay.
Lately, I haven't really been on like talking about it, but I'm big on men.
Okay.
And let's clear that up. Pause. Don't take that wrong.
Oh yeah, you gotta be
Let's
clear.
pause that real quick.
Yeah.
No, I'm big on men in the way of expressions, emotions, mental spaces, understanding like you have a traditional way of things and then you have a now way of things, and being able to see that I've seen a lot of married men. I've seen a lot of men in relationships hold back from conversations because they feel like it won't be accepted. They feel like the expression of it won't be accepted, even to their relationships, their wives, their girlfriends, whoever they're with. And it's like, man, that hurt me sometimes. Because as a man, I'm expressive. Like I feel like I can articulate certain things that can come to me, whether people like it or not like it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where my differences start to come in and show. Now I'm passionate in music too, so that's something that I take really, really in, and I love right now. I had a couple talks about as far as like seminars or small seminars starting at the church that I play at in Charlotte, down in the Charlotte area. And at first I told them, I'm like, man, I don't know if I should do it. People may not accept what I'm saying. And, man, don't let for a pause for y'all, don't let nobody like really push you in that place where you feel like you have a gift to push and speak for others and help a situation, and you pull back just because of the fear of it. You know what I'm saying? Right. I've been there, and I'm working on even getting out of that myself. So I think that's something about me that I really don't share a lot of, unless you have conversation with me. Then we'll go into like, man, why you feel and see life this way in the system of the world and how things are running. But when I actually sit down and think about, after we talked about this, I was like, wow, like, I can see that. I'm not saying that, I'm trying to come out and be an activist for men empowerment. Right. But I am saying there's a lot of men that don't have power. Right. It is a lot of men that don't know how to even operate their power. Right. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't always just about being married. Now you have power. It's you. You know what I'm saying? How do we work that? Where do we be able to, who can we go to to have them conversations and talks, Right. And so I think like lately, I've been in that place, even with my own friends, you know what I'm saying, family that talk to me. So I'm grateful for that. Okay. Well, like I tell people, like you said, don't let nobody tell you where you should be. You have to be comfortable to be there. And first of all, try to at least go through it before you sit here trying to get somebody experience. Yeah. But at the same time, just knowing, because what's for you is for you. And who you bring to God, how you bring them to it is nobody else's business. As long as you bring them to Him. You know what I'm saying? When you run them away, that's when the problem come in at. And that's what people need to know. The ones running them away from God, that's blood is on your hands. But when you're bringing them to wanting to know more about Him, you're doing the right thing. Just because you're not doing it the way they do it, don't you worry about that. Don't allow nobody to tell you you're doing the wrong thing, because they can't do that. That's right. But, anyways, what's more important to you, loyalty, love, or respect? I know we was talking about this, so I'm going to let you answer, but I need you to break it down for the people, because I love the way you have broke it down. Y'all, she is really trying to get me on. No, I'm just playing. So, and initially, and I stand on that, I think all three work hand in hand. I think no one is necessarily bigger than the other. I think it's who you're working with, who you deal with, getting to know who you have. As far as the individualizations of them, loyalty has its place, respect has its place, and love has its place. So where you have admiration, you have solidarity, you have consistency, all of those things push that relationship. And I think you should have some form of loyalty. Now, loyalty can be pretty deep when it comes into like, you know, a lot of people say they ride or dies, but it really gets challenged when it comes to negative situations. And when negative situations hit, you'll see if they loyal. You're gonna see like, no matter how hard it is, that loyalty really sticks out there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And being loyal make you cry sometimes.
Yeah.
Being loyal make you walk around like almost depressed sometimes, right? Because you can be in a space, it could be your best friend, it could be a family member, but because you're locked into them, I may not like what you did, I may not love what you did,
right.
but I'm still loyal to you, your purpose, who you are. I'm gonna still push you. You know what I'm saying? Now we might have a back end conversation.
Yeah,
you know?
Definitely gonna let you know you're wrong. Yeah, that's the loyalty part.
And that's
being loyal.
That's the relationship friend side. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then when you get into respect, pretty much, you know, being able to admire and see or have admiration for and have regards to a person's feeling and what they're doing, what they accomplish.
Right.
I think that's big. You know, I think that's big. With respect, as far as that, I think that comes with being with the person. You know, involving yourself with the person enough to be able to have that feeling for them. Right. Some people just want it because they just walk out the door.
Right.
And it's like, well, then you got to give and get.
Exactly.
You know, if you don't give, we don't get. Right. So that's something that can be built.
Right.
You can work on that. No matter how bad it is, you can work on that. But it comes with the conversations. And then with love is admiration too, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? But it just goes in different forms. Right. So I can, which we have like and love, but we can go into love, and love can really come from based off of what I really, really take in from you. Right. It can also be value. It can be like, man, look, you do this for me. Wow, that's crazy. Like, I love that. I love that. We say the word, but what it really means, I'm attached to that.
Right.
I feel that. You know. Good, bad, but I feel what you're doing. I feel who you are as a person, what you bring to the table. And so when it comes down to it, I have no one over the other.
Right.
I have no one over the other. I try to do all. I'm not perfect at it. I mess up, you know, and what you can do is overcome it.
Right.
You can overcome it. Through love, you can overcome it. With respect, you can overcome it, you know, as far as it talked about relationships, and even in the Bible, which I don't quote Bible a lot, everybody, you know, I just love God, you know what I'm saying, it's what it is. But you have the one portion where it's saying respect the man and love the woman.
Right.
We all got different things that we see differently, right? He could say love the man and love the woman, but the men may not see love the same as the respect. You might can respect me, take me as I am, and da-da-da-da. And I can give you the love that you're looking for. You see what I'm saying? But that can get broken down different ways with different people.
Right,
People
exactly.
see it differently, you know what I'm saying? But it spoke it.
Right.
It said it. So obviously it's a difference.
Exactly. It is. So what comes to your mind when you first seen I'm For God?
Oh man, I'm For God. I was gonna wear the shirt. I was gonna wear the shirt. I wanted a hoodie. I was down for it. And then outside of the clothing, and really thought process of it, it was just showing that it's not super traditional church based. So you can be for God and be a thug.
Exactly.
Sorry, but I'm gonna be honest.
Oh yeah.
You can be for God, be a police officer. You can be for God, be a killer. You can be for God and be a thug. Am I telling y'all what y'all doing is completely, you know, I ain't saying that, you know.
But I mean, I can tell you who you for.
Yeah, because a lot of, listen, and even with my company, with All Sounds, right, I love all styles of music. Even though I grew up in church, it took a minute to get to that place to be accepted for it. Some people still don't accept it, but I'm doing what I'm doing. It's my business as well. So when it come down to it, it's like, man, I've been to the bars and played, and the people came up and said, "Can you pray for my son?"
Right.
You know, I've been to the little cigar parts, you know, lounges where we played, and you see the people come up and tell their testimonies. I've been to the Harley Davidson Center down in Florida, and we did a show, and the man came up and said, "Man, you play in church, don't you?" I can hear it.
Yeah.
You have a sound. And so it's a blessing to have those testimonies. And then from there, that's when you be able to open that door to say, okay, this is who I serve.
Right.
You know, I mean, God.
And let's be real, Jesus he hung out with in the ghetto anyway, so
Yeah.
let's make it.
We ain't even gonna talk about what his color was.
Right, yeah.
We ain't gonna talk about
We
just gonna.
how you getting the word yourself. But and not only that, we talking about how you feel about when Juanita Bynum said that she felt like you're not a Christian, or you're not if you listen to secular music.
How do I feel about it? I've heard it plenty of times growing up in churches from pastors. I think the difference is I had the opportunity to have that conversation.
Okay.
And in those spaces, a lot of leaders can't one-on-one with a big congregation. Okay. You can't one-on-one. So it's just like the law. It's a standard that you put out. And some people can get past the standard, some people can't. You know what I mean? We all think it's black and white. Boom, you do this, you going to hell. No, not really. No. Not really. Just because that person got tattoos, that don't mean this person should get tattoos. But that's up to you. That's your choice. That don't mean God won't accept you in either. Right. You know what I'm saying? So with secular music or anything outside of Christian music, then you have to know like it's your indulgement. Right. If listening to certain type of hip hop, rap, sex music, whatever, love music, if that makes you, if that's the thing that pushes you to a certain place, then maybe that's not best for you. Right. Now, in the church, there's a standard. Yeah. Again, like I said, you can't one-on-one everybody. You know what I'm saying? So you have to set a tone or a standard. So what I did in my time when I got around the college age, I would ask a couple pastors, like, why do y'all say going to the club? Or why do pastors say if you go to the club, you're going to hell? So it's not really that you're going to the club, you're going to hell. It's there are certain things that people can't deal with in the club. Right. You understand? That may cause you to catch a stray bullet. That may cause you to catch a roofie in your drink. That may cause you to catch being somebody stealing from you. So what you do is you put out a consistent standard, right? And now you deal with them one-on-one cases when they come to you. I was a musician who used to tell musicians, "Oh, you shouldn't play in the club. That ain't right. That ain't for God. You're not gonna go." I was that when I was younger, when starting. When I got older, and I'm like, Lord, look, man, I'm playing at a couple churches. My finances ain't where I need to be. I need some help. And then it was a Christian drummer who called me, who played at one of the churches. His dad was a bishop. He was the one who called me and said, "Hey, man, they got this top 40 band. They looking for a keyboard player." For real? Lord, is you? I play anything, you know what I'm saying? So I called my mama because my mom is an apostle. And at the time, I want to say she was a pastor or transitioning into apostle. And at the time, I called her and I said, I don't want mama to be embarrassed. Right? I don't want her to be embarrassed to my family, to her sisters and brothers, because how we was all raised. Right, yeah, of course. And I said, if she give me the green light, I'm going. I'm riding this thing. Pew! And mama said, look, if you keep God first, right? You keep him in all things and you keep rolling, then go for it. And so we talked about how much the money was. It ran up, I think, starting out was like $300 a show. So, that's good. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, and something I never did. So I'm like, cool. It ain't 150. Come on, right? Yeah. So all right, let's do it. And then so then they showed the songs, and I love the Temptations. I love some of the old school, mid school. I like pop. I like R&B, funk. Ballad music, ballroom music, jazz. So for me, it's a sound. It's like how to play it and do it. And from there, I was like, wow, we did some shows, and then it went from 300 to 500. I said, y'all make you the music director for the band. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's do it. Let's show. Come on, I'm ready. You know what I'm saying?
But the key is keeping God first. While you there, you can change people's lives. And while you there, the ones that don't know, right, they're going to ask questions, and then they'll come draw into God because they see what you're doing. So see, the thing is, we don't have to always put God on Front Street. Right, that's it. If he's working through you, that's it. It's going to be captivated. You know what I'm saying? And so when it come down to a lot of it, although he's playing these songs, after a while you start hearing in the band, I sang praise and worship at my church. Oh, for real, I play drums at my church. Oh, for real, I play bass at the Spanish church. Oh, for real, I play a guitar over here at this church. Now we all church people. You know what I'm saying? Right.
playing, get up, get on up, boom, boom, get up, get on up. And now these people over here dancing, they paying their money, and we doing our job.
Right.
And now we all making sure we get back for church for Sunday. Right? We reverencing God in prayer before we sing and perform. We thanking God after we done. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's a lot of it where God still got the glory.
Oh, definitely.
You know, he just used us for another story and who to attract. So from there, when you can't just say everybody that's listening to this style of music is, you can't do that. You know. Now, it's not to start anything with me and want to buy them.
No. I'm just asking questions because I know you're the music.
Yeah, I'm just letting you know, like, hey, you know.
It's okay.
And I would say this too: if we pay attention sometimes to some of the churches, a lot of them have some of the secular artists that's in there. You know, so they're still listening to God. They believe in God. They're also just doing their job.
Right.
Now, again, indulgement and overindulgement is a thing that we don't talk about.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of stuff where they're doing, but then it becomes overdone.
Yeah.
You know, so then you start seeing the other side of them, and you know, and then we pray them back, and that's what the gospel do. We pray them back. They go back to God. They understand who is what. You know.
Right. So can you lead the people with something positive?
Something positive.
Yeah.
I would say stay focused. If you don't have purpose, ask God for purpose. And when he show you purpose, accept it. Please accept it. And then that'll help you actually stay on course of where you're trying to go. And no matter how hard it get, no matter how tough it get, when it really get down to it, your tomorrow don't have to be yesterday. But you got to acknowledge yesterday so you can be able to deal with your tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Right now it might be hard, but honestly, it's going to get easier. And then guess what? It's going to get harder. It's going to get easier. Right. And it's going to get harder. As long as you living, you're going to go through that.
Yeah.
You know, we can't structuralize one way of life. And when you get into another area, different style of people and the way people operate and move, and I'm learning that right now. You know, when you get into that place and space, sometimes you got to stand and be different. Sometimes it's okay to like pull back a little bit. You don't have to change completely, but be able to know where you fit in, and from there stay focused. And if you stay focused, it can work. You know, it can really work. So that's what I have. Any other questions you find to ask me. If y'all want her to ask more questions, part 2, part 3.
Yes, I'm definitely gonna have you back, and I thank you so
man.
much for coming. And you know, definitely gonna have you back in the near future. Thank y'all for tuning in. I love you, but God loves you more. Until next time, like I said, you just never know who I may have on here. Take care.